Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. This time we will be looking at the PCCOOLER DS360 Aio. Does Thermalright have competition? Okay then, so this is a new CPU cooler AIO from PCCOOLER. What we're going to do now is open this up and check it out. And what really got me interested in this is the pump design, as you can see. It's this that really got me interested. Now, they did give me a choice of what I wanted to look at, but, of course, with me, it's primarily products I'm actually interested in checking out. So, this is actually a weird way of opening an AIO. So, when it comes to the DS series, when it comes to the overall accessories, that's what it supports. It supports LJ 1700, 1200, and then of course it supports those as well. Ooh, wow, very good forward compatibility with the older sockets, AM4 and AM5. And then of course it does come with thermal paste, comes with a splitter then for the fans, and it shows you then how to install it, tells you how, and of course it also even shows you how to install it when it comes to AM4 and Intel. So that's cool, some neat little information about that. And of course then we got a display, temperature display instructions. So you got to search that up in Google, I'm assuming, and then you download the software. So now this is actually a weird way of actually packaging an AIO. Usually they don't come in boxes like this. They actually come in usually packages that like flip open, but I guess this one's a bit different, which actually I'm really liking. Now, when it comes to specifications, so that's sockets, like I said, there's the tube length. When it comes to radiator dimensions, material, 3200 RPM. Then when it comes to the dB, which is a 28, then it's a 3-pin. Then it's rated for 12 volts. There's the amps, there's the overall wattage. And then it comes to the fans then, which are 120s. That means fluid dynamic bearings. 2200, that's the fans. And then, of course, there's the CFM, there's the H2O, and then it comes to the overall decibels, that's 32 decibels, voltage, the current as well, and then that's the consumption, fan connector, 4-pin, then of course RGB, and then that is it really. That just gives you the overall specifications of the AIO itself. Okay, so let's have a look. Ooh, very fancy. I like it. I do. I really like it. Now, a lot of brands are trying to become more premium orientated when it comes to products. And to be honest, it's different. I'm assuming these will be recyclable. Right, let's open this up. Right, as I said, what it comes with the overall mounting, of course, AMD, Intel, and it gives you the thermal paste, but there, and it gives you back plates and such like that. Now let's have a check at the AIO itself. Right then, since the fans aren't actually connected, let's take a look at these fans. Ooh. Oh. Now I like that. That looks really nice. Let's have a look at the AIO. Okay, so this is the actual pump. The overall housing. Now I like this. I really like this actual design. It looks really cool. And of course then there's the copper heat pipe, or the copper base plate, sorry, then there's the tubing. Now a lot of brands are actually starting to include these in the AIOs themselves. It makes the overall tubing look a lot better. So there's 4-pin PWM. No, that is to do the temperature. You connect this to a USB port on your motherboard, and then of course it does have a RGB as well where this lights up. I really like it. Now in terms of the radiator, it looks like a standard radiator. Fins, that's, it's just a standard looking radiator. So let's get this on the test bench now and see how it performs. Okay, so this is the DS360 from PC Cooler at 50% fan speed. Can barely hear it at 50%. Now at 100%. These are very loud at 100%. Right then guys, so when it comes to the overall benchmarking, I've used my normal benchmark tests, Cinebenchmark 23, Blender Pavilion, Blender Classroom, 3D Mark CPU test, but I've also included 3 gaming benchmarks so you can get a rough idea of what it's like during gameplay. Now this is a 5900X with PBO enabled and it was drawn 190 watts. So Cinebenchmark 23, the idles is 33 Celsius, so the max is 78. Blender Pavilion, idles 33, max 75. Blender Classroom, idles 33, max 75. 3D Mark CPU test, idles 33 and max 69. C, nice. Okay, so when it comes to the gaming runs I did, was Shadow of the Tomb Raider F123 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They hit the CPUs all differently. So for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the highest attempt of the CPU went was 51. For F123, the max of the CPU was 41 Celsius. And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the max was 51 Celsius. Okay then, so what do you think? You saw the unboxing, you saw the overall thermals, you also saw some glam footage of it. Now, you also heard the fans. Now yes, the fans are 100%, they are loud, but to be honest, with the amount of AIOs I've reviewed, I'm not surprised these days. The overall quality is certainly there. I like the pump housing. I like that it's just minimal with the RGB. It's not in your face. The display part on it does read correctly. It reads the package temperature on the CPU. It doesn't read the individual cores or anything, or the CCDs, so it's just the package temp, which it was correct when it came to that. I did monitor for that. I like the fans, like I said in the unboxing, they have got fluid dynamic bearing, so at least it's a good bearing. It won't die just out of nowhere. The radiator is nothing special, it's just a radiator. The fans do have like pigtailed 4-pin PWM, so you can daisy chain them. I do like that. When it comes to the overall housing, now I do like this design. It looks like it's got, I don't know, it looks like an arc or something like that. That's what it looks like to me. Now the base plate, it's big copper base plate, so this would be fine for LJ1700 as well as AMD, but when it comes to performance, I can't exactly say because I don't have an Intel test bench. But one thing I don't like about this cooler is this. Right, USB 2 cable, a lot of brands use it, but this one is too short. It can't go around the back of the case, which is a bit of a downside because I like the rest of it. That is maybe the only niggle I got. It's just not long enough. If you could put that around the back of the case, obviously it is in the 800DX from Beaker. It's not exactly a small case, it's quite big now, but other than that, I think not bad. And in terms of pricing on AliExpress, because obviously they don't sell it here in the UK because it isn't having long come out, this is £83, which is actually competitive with other brands. But honestly, the quality's there. So I got a feeling about PC Cooler. I got some stuff coming from ID Cooling that I'm really excited about as well, because it's these brands, the smaller brands, that I like working with because the input I give them, they do generally take it on board. One thing I would tell PC Cooler though is the USB 2 cable, make it a bit longer so it would reach all cases, because you don't really want to put that around the GPU like I have to. It doesn't make the build look any better, it makes it look more messy. But other than that, the cables and stuff was fine. Like I said, the performance is there, and I really do like the overall look. So, look, I have got loads of more stuff coming from PC Cooler. I've got another AIO, 2 air coolers, one that's on the test bench. So make sure you subscribe because I got another one. Then I got another cooler coming from ID Cooling. I've got stuff coming from a thermal, a new brand, a brand out in that part of the world. They're sending me this little thermal temperature camera to attach to my phone, so I can show you the differences when it comes to a heat pipe when the heat rises and stuff, so I can give you a bit more data that you guys will actually want. And of course I've got loads more stuff coming, Thermalright, Thermal Grizzly, stuff like that. I've got stuff coming from more places in Europe, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, this is Richard from WELSHYTECH. I hope you have a fantastic day and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Good.